Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome to our edition of Texas. Alright, so as you can see, it is raining. I just wanted to show you something kind of interesting. When it rains, your vehicles get cleaned off. As you can see, this Lamborghini is slowly getting cleaned off, which is kind of cool. And also, as you can see, I have made $200,000. So we ended up making $128,000 yesterday, apparently. So we ended up getting quite a few bales of hay, which paid for themselves quite a lot. Did a really good job there. So here we are over at field 14, or close to it at least. And I was just looking at other seeders, and there is another seeder I could theoretically get. This one right here, but it would put us down $55,000, which would allow us not to get a bigger tractor at this particular time. So I think I'm going to hold off. I think... let's just check once again quickly just to see how wide our current seeder is. Where's it? 6 meters. Yeah, so the other seeder is only a meter bigger, so it's not really worth it either. It does work. I double checked just to make sure it did work before I hopped in game here. So as you can see, our tractor is slowly getting cleaned up, which is kind of cool. That's what the rain does. And honestly, if I'm being serious, this you probably wouldn't seed in the rain. It'd be a little messy. Just a thought, mind you, though. Anyways, let's just get rid of the rain here for a second. There we go. Alright, so we're going to seed barley down this field over here. And I'm going to get this done here. So let's just put the differential locks on. And oh yeah, I don't know why I always forget about that. For some reason, when I start the GPS mod up, oops, lower it, turn it on. Let's back up a little bit here. Whenever I turn the GPS mod on, or if I turn the other, what do you call it? When I turn on the red thing, the little lines that come up that show where triggers are and whatnot, when I bring that up, the GPS mod doesn't like to come up. For example, I know right now I'm in a specific mode where the lines are there, but if I bring the lights on, that's also there as well. So, but the lines are here for the time being. It's fine. So it works. So we're planting some barley here, and we're thinking about buying a new tractor last episode. So we're looking at, we have $200,000 right now, so that could give us a 220 horsepower Lamborghini or a 200 horsepower Case Puma. We could borrow 40 grand. No, that would, and potentially get a T8. Let me just go to not the garage. I want to go to mods and just see what mods I have available. We could get this, which is also 200 horsepower. That's the one we already have. We're not getting that again. And the Ursus, which is yeah, we don't have that many choices. These are the two big tractors we could get, but we don't really need at this particular time as of yet. So I think what we'll do is we will hold. I don't know. I don't really want to hold off too much longer. We don't have a real need yet for a big tractor, and what we will probably get is a T8, because you can basically use it with anything, or pretty much anything. That's 435, yeah. You can pretty much use it with anything, so I think that's what we'll save up for the time being. So we'll see how that goes. We could actually get the BGA, or pretty close to getting the BGA actually, now that I think about it. We actually have, I think it's like $230,000. We just don't have the capability of making enough chaff, or essentially silage. We're not getting enough liquid, or not getting enough manure either from our animals in order for it to be effective at this particular time. So I don't know, this is probably one of my favorite seeders for every reason. I just like this one. The other one, the Vaderstadt mod pack actually that came out not too long ago, adds this one, the Rapids 300C, which I think is not a, oh no, it is a, it does have the, it is a direct seeder as well, although it is 3 meters as opposed to 6, which is the one we have right now. And this guy right here is a 6-meter seater, 7-meter seater. He only needs 120 horsepower. I don't know. Seems a bit unlikely that that size would need that little horsepower. Just my personal opinion, mind you. It seems like it would need a lot more than that, but according to what it's saying, it definitely doesn't. So I don't know. Kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, really? Come on now. I'm pretty sure that needs a little bit more than that. A couple comments from the previous episode. Sam Thomas says he changed out the horn for the Peterbilt for a different horn. Totally agree there, Sam. I think he said he had to change something in the XML for it to work properly. Gregory said, would you be able to feature the Chrome Big Pack 1290 baler when your next upcoming videos? I would like to hear your thoughts on the baler, as it creates slightly larger bales in density, not size. Didn't know about that. I'll have to take a look at that one. 37 Funny Money Monkey Gaming says, sure, he would like to see a different map, or a double map, I guess. And Brewer Dude also comments saying the same thing. So seems like a lot of people are for having 2 maps at the same time. So I'll have to take a look around for a second map and see what I can find, because I know an American map like this isn't going to be for everybody. It's totally the way it works. Can't please everybody, basically, so. Alright. Lift that up there. Turn around. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, I know, it's funny. It's always a delicate balance when you have to choose a map, because some people will really like, for example, an American-styled map, or some people really like flat maps, or lots of map with scenery and whatnot. So it really depends on the type of person you are, I guess, because I really can't. Actually, you know what I should do? Before I forget about it, let's grab this guy right here. And nope, that's not what I wanted to drop. Let's grab this. I just remembered I could have this guy hired and fertilizing. I keep forgetting you can hire guys to fertilize. I'm totally not used to that at all. We do have to be careful though, because if he runs out of fertilizer with a hired worker, it's going to be a little ugly. I don't know if, I'm not sure actually. I have to double check. I'm not sure if it actually costs, if it's the same amount of money it would cost to fill it or not. Yourself, which is what I'm kind of just thinking about. What field number is that? Field 11. Let's just fill up here for a second and close that. And grab this guy. And what we'll do is we'll set him to fertilizing like this. Field 11. And start in the northwest corner. Heading east. Headland, no, it doesn't make a difference. Generate. Oops, no. This is a 24 meters, if memory serves. Let's just double check for a quick second here. Sprayers. Yeah, it is 24 meters. So we'll have this guy doing this. He'll automatically refill. We'll set it to 23.5. And we're looking at field 11. Do that, and we'll add it to this one. And this should work. Should being the keyword, of course. Let's just make sure it indeed does work. So it should unfold first. It should be interesting, actually. A lot of things I've kind of noticed so far, Courseplay has been pretty solid so far. Like I said, I'm using the version 2.54, I think it is. 2.54, yeah, for the time being. So it's been pretty solid so far, and I haven't had too many issues. Although that little arm thing, I'm still not sure if that is caused by Courseplay or not. As you're probably aware, I tend to record two episodes at the same time, so that's the reason why I'm not 100% sure if it is the cause or not. So, whoa. Apparently it's lowered but not turned on. Okay. There we go. I was gonna say, it's awfully quiet. But yeah, like I was saying, with maps, it's kind of difficult to determine what's going to be the best map for everybody. You can never please everybody, so it's kind of funny. So in the past, what I've tended to do is I would give you guys the choice on one map, and then maybe the next map I'll just choose myself. Kind of go to keep it a little, you know, a little bit interesting in terms of the variety, I suppose maybe is the word I would call it. I don't know. I'm not sure if variety is even the right word, but I like to change things up every now and then, so there's always maps out there that I might like to play on a bit more than other ones, so just the way it goes. Like, for example, Idaho was a hands-down easy choice for me just because that map was gorgeous. I love that map. I haven't seen it been converted yet to 2013 or 2013. I haven't seen it converted to 2015 yet, but I'm hoping that they'll do that. That'll be nice. But it did take forever to load, so hopefully they figure out those types of issues before it gets ported over, because those types of things are just nasty. Actually, you know what we could do? We don't have silage still. We can mow and rake grass. What can we do? There's a couple options. I just realized that. This is always the first option. I know some people might say I could technically get a round baler as well, make silage out of that, which seems kind of silly to go have a whole separate system for that, but it's definitely a possibility. That only requires 70 horsepower, and I don't think our field has been... It would be awfully quick if it was... Yeah, it's not ready yet. I was going to say, it'd be awfully funny if I was ready to go again, but I'm not surprised it's not, so... maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll use the round baler to make silage, and then our cows will have TMR. We'll see. I don't think there's any other way to go about it, though. You either have to buy a forage wagon, basically, or... no, there actually isn't one other way. Where is it? The other way would be buying a harvester, which is $415,000, and then buying this header with it. Or I guess that one could work too. And then buying this header with it. Oh, that could be interesting, actually. It's only 14. That'd be... Which we probably wouldn't take too long to do that, actually. Now that I think about it. Considering how much money we made from the hay, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, we could do it that way. It's kind of jumping a few steps, mind you, but it would definitely work. It's a possibility. This is a situation where I really missed the Kid Forge Harvester, which is one of the reasons why Dirt Hebbers felt that it was, you know, the top choice, basically. I totally agree with them. Like, it's hard not to say the Kid Forge Harvester was his top choice for Farm Sim 2013, because situations like this where you know, you don't necessarily want to buy a forage harvester, but you've kind of forced into that particular I guess path, I want to say, because what happens is you only have a few choices. Like at this particular time, we only have forage harvester or buying a round baler. Now some people say I haven't done a round baler, but the problem is if I were to go to round bale route, I would need to A, buy a round baler, and then B, buy this, so that's 70,000. And then I would also need to buy, because I don't want to use this, and I also need to buy this, so that's 40, 60. Well, it's about the same price as this, actually. Huh, I guess it is kind of worth it to go round baling instead of squares. You don't need a super high horsepower tractor either, which makes sense, I guess. But it would seem strange to have two separate systems like that. Or I could just sell the square baler and then the square auto stacker as well, and then I would have enough money for that. It's another possibility too. I don't think that the round baler actually takes more. I don't think it actually says. I'm just curious because I actually haven't used the round baler much. I don't know how big the bales are, but I'm pretty sure they are 3,000, 4,000 liters maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure. I have to double check that now. Yeah, goes to show you how much I've actually used the round baler. don't know, there's only a few round balers I really like. What I really liked in FS13, like the John Deere 864 Premium was just a gorgeous baler. And we haven't seen something of that quality yet. As I mentioned before, I know OEB guys are planning on bringing over the Extreme Baling Pack. It's in there. If you ever go on the FS-UK forums and look in Work in Progress, or WIPs, so sometimes they're called, WIP. If you look in there, you'll be able to see some of the stuff they're working on. And they're actually converting the Extreme Baling Pack, in the process of at least. I haven't seen any screenshots of it lately because I haven't checked the forum itself in a little while, but from what I can tell, they're pretty good. They make an effort to make solid mods, so I'm not too worried about it being a bad mod or anything. So check on this guy, see how he's doing. Nice. Let's see how he makes the turn. Seems so slow. Probably helps that actually I left a little bit of overlap, because I left a 0.5 meter overlap just to make sure there was no gaps in there, because sometimes what happens is if I could put it to 23.75 I probably would have done that, but it only goes up by 0.5 meters, so anyways. Just the way things go. It'd be nice if you could do it. I don't know why they changed it so you can only go up by 0.5. I guess it was just easier to do it that way than it was to make it give you the ability to go up by smaller margins or smaller amounts like 0.25. It could be possible. I don't know why it's not. It's probably something as easy as just changing something in the configs. I would suspect, at least. I've looked at the code for it, but I honestly haven't. I don't know enough about coding in order to say, hey, this is exactly what needs to be done. So, c'est la vie, I suppose. Alright. There we go. Let's come over here. Not get out of the tractor, jeez. I don't know, I really should give the other Vaderstadt a go, actually, because I haven't tried that one yet either. That was actually one of the ones from 2013 in the Vaderstadt pack. So, so far I've really liked this one. This one's been one of my favorites. So, that's kind of, I guess they don't have many options yet either, and like a lot of the mods that are coming out still haven't stepped up yet. There's a few, like that John Deere 6810 is a pretty solid mod, but right now that's probably one of the few ones. Like I know Caravera 76 did a mod showcase the other day on a Fendt tractor that he was pretty impressed with. A few little small things that were a bit of a problem, but as I mentioned before, documentation has been released. Once it's released, I expect there to be good mods. But right now, it's hard to say. Definitely hard to say. I wonder how fast. I don't think it would make a difference if I was using this tractor, the other John Deere tractor, for spraying fertilizer. Because one of the things that always throws me off is, you know, sometimes you'll be able to go a certain speed with a certain tractor, and other ones it's a bit more because it has the more horsepower. Which is the same thing in real life, right? Like if you're trying to use a 50 horsepower tractor with something that needs, like, you know, 60 horsepower, you probably would be able to do it in real life, but it'd be a bit of a struggle depending on what you're trying to do. Like, I know I've played on some other maps. What was the map I played on a while back? Lomerheim. I played a little bit on there with Northern Warrior. A while back now. It was one of the few more realistic series I did back in the day. And the problem I ran into there was with hills and tractors and whatnot. And he was saying, because he's from Norway, and he was saying that it's common to have, like, you know, a higher horsepower tractor using an implement that's less, doesn't need as much horsepower just because of the hills primarily. Like, you think of this map. Like, this map you don't necessarily need a super high horsepower tractor because the hills aren't a big deal. But if you remember in episode, I don't know, 2 or 3 on Westbridge Hills where we were trying to bail going straight up the hill, that's a situation where having a bit more horsepower really made a difference. Like the Case Puma was able to actually bail, but the problem was if it wanted to go up the hill at some sort of reasonable speed, it couldn't because it didn't have the horsepower requirements. Once we upgraded to the T8, all our problems were solved, basically. There we go. So, I'm assuming it's the same thing in real life, where you run into situations where you have a lot of horsepower on hilly terrain. I'm not sure if there are any states in the United States that have farms that are based around hilly terrain. I think some people said, I want to say some people said upstate New York or that kind of area, like not North York, that's in Toronto area. The northern part of New York State, maybe, because I know the Appalachians are up there. I think that's what they're called, at least. I can never remember. Or no, it's Adirondacks. Adirondack, I think it's up there. I can't remember. I've only been in New York State a handful of times. It was fun, actually. I took took a train to Montreal, and then from Montreal I went south. So I went through all the mountains in northern parts of New York State. It was really nice, actually. I went past, there's a few lakes up there. George Lake, I think it's called. It was just gorgeous. And taking the train's always fun because trains are awesome. So I think it was the Amtrak, I think that's what we took. And it was just a really, really nice train ride just because of the scenery around you. That's one thing I'd like to do at some point, is head out west on the train, because there's lots of places that the trains would go that the cars never go, just because that's when the tracks were lane and whatnot. So I don't know. That's something I'd like to do at some point, but it's just super expensive. Like, I remember pricing it out once, and I was like, "Hey, how much is this going to cost me to do this?" And the price was only like $1,500. Which is expensive, but maybe one day. I don't suspect that VRL will be going anywhere anytime soon. It's one of my preferred ways to travel. I don't know if anybody's ever taken the train. Like, if you're from Toronto area, or some of you maybe, I don't know. VRL is what VRL or the GO train is what you take out there. From the States, I guess it'd be Amtrak, or if you're on like a place like San Francisco, I think they have a monorail there or something. I'm not sure if it's monorail. I can't remember. Never been to San Francisco. All I know about San Francisco is I've seen a couple Dirty Harry movies. Also, Dirty Harry. Does anybody know who that is? Some people may know who Dirty Harry is. I've probably mentioned him before. Anyways, Dirty Harry is Clint Eastwood. He made the movies, I think it was in the 70s, I want to say, is when Dirty Harry was made. And it's a cop movie, basically. Dirty Harry, who he uses, probably nowadays would be determined as excessive force, but he had his .44 Magnum. Anyways, I remember a couple car chases in the Dirty Harry movies where they're going down San Francisco roads. It's basically just super hills going up and down all over the place. It's crazy. But it's good movies. I haven't seen those in a long time, actually. I don't think they have them on Netflix in Canada, which is unfortunate. Although they do have the Rambos and then a couple Rocky movies, so that's not so bad, but what the heck is that? Oh, those lights? I don't know how many tractors have sunroofs. I wonder if you can actually do anything in that. No. There's no no. Thought there might be like IC control, but there isn't any in this tractor. That Dutes tractor I picked up. Actually, we couldn't pick up the Dutes. I think, how much was that? 100 and... No. How do I keep it in the garage? I think that Dutes... I took it out. I'll need to put it back in, because I thought that was the problem, because that was one of the recent ones I got. But I think it's like 200 horsepower. Might be a good tractor to get. It's not an American tractor, but at this point in time, there aren't many options you have available. Thus the Lamborghini at this particular time. But yeah, I'll have to stick it back in there. I think that was around $200,000 too. Somewhere in that area, so maybe I had 194 horsepower, I'd be able to handle this thing no problem as well. And then we could do, yeah, I guess we could run a baler too, I guess, in that scenario. Might be an idea. And actually, it's cool, that Dutes actually has dualies in the front and back you can put on, which is really neat. And it does have some IC control, which is kind of rare at this particular time, because it's so early in Farming Sim 15, in terms of mods at least. Like, you gotta consider that, you know, Farming Simulator 13 was out for, I think, 2 years, I guess it was. And you tend to accrue a lot of mods in 2 years. Whether they're all good is a different story, but tend to get a lot of them. Anyways, I'm sure the same thing will happen in 2015 at some point. Anyways, folks, I think I'll stop the episode there. There'll also be a lot more seeding. What I'll do off camera is I'll seed this field, I think, and I'll seed the other field, and we'll come back and maybe do a harvest. We'll see. That camera, though, jeez. We'll do a harvest, and I think that'll be it. Alright, folks, my name's Iain Robson. It's been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Texas. Catch you guys later.